guys, welcome back to the Morning Coffee channel here on YouTube. My name is Megan and this channel is all about organization and productivity and personal growth. Today I am going to be doing a bit of a different kind of video. I wanted to address what is happening in our world right now with the coronavirus pandemic. Today we're going to talk about things that you can do and ways to cope with what is happening in our world right now so you can move forward in your life feeling as calm and prepared as possible. I really hope that this video will help you kind of just figure out how you can take small steps to move forward in what is happening right now. I certainly have been feeling a little bit more anxious and a bit more unsettled with everything that's happening. It seems like every time I feel like I've grasped I understand everything that's going on, something new gets mandated, something new gets canceled, something new gets postponed, and I feel like I have to start all over again. And so I just was kind of putting together some thoughts for myself on how I can move forward, and I thought I'd share them with you. So let's get started. Tip number one, I am not going to talk about a lot, but I'm going to say you should be informing yourself about what is happening from trusted sources and following their recommended precautions. I will leave links below to the CDC and WHO organizations' websites with information. There is going to be so much dramatic news being shared over social media and online during this crisis, and it's important that you stay informed, but stay informed with good, trusted sources and following whatever recommendations they're sharing at the time. So I'm not going to belabor this point. I'm going to link more information below. Make sure you know what's going on and how you can help. Number two, check in with the people that you love. So I found one of the first things that I was wanting to do when all of this news started breaking was I just wanted to know how other people were handling it. I wanted to know how other people were feeling, how other people were experiencing the crisis in their lives. So I started to reach out. I texted some of my friends who work in different industries and who have different family makeups to say, hey, how are you? How are you doing? Do you have what you need? How is your job changing right now? Just tell me more about what you're going through. And I also found that it brought me like joy and comfort to see the people that I know that were posting on social media and just kind of sharing like, hey, this is what I'm going through. This is what I'm doing. This is how it looked when I went to the store. I found some joy in that connection. I feel like, people tout the dangers of social media a lot, and, some of that is justified and some of it isn't. But I feel like we have an opportunity to stay connected to people in a time when we're supposed to be isolating ourselves. And that with all of the technology that we have available to us now, there are so many ways to check in with people that you don't have to physically be with them. You can send friends texts, you can send Instagram stories, you can call your grandma, you can do a video call with your mom over Skype or Duo or whatever the Apple one is. Google Hangout, whatever. There are so many ways that you can stay in touch with the people that you love, and it's a great opportunity to do so. I personally haven't called my grandma in a long time, and she actually is in a nursing home, and right now they're not allowing anyone in to see her. And so that is one thing that I'm going to be doing actually today, is giving her a call. Taking the time to check in with your friends and your family, your coworkers, your loved ones is a really great thing to do at this point. It's going to make you feel better. It's going to make you feel more connected. It will make you feel like you're not alone, and it'll be more certain. You'll have more understanding of how everybody in your life is doing. So go ahead and take some time to reach out to the people that you love during this time. Next, let's talk a little bit about money. It would be a great thing to do during this time to check in with your finances. Number 3 is get your budget in order. I don't know about you, but this situation really had me looking at my financial life and being like, oh my God, get it together. Like, I'm certainly not in any sort of financial danger necessarily right now, but I think it's only normal and natural that when something like this happens, uncertainty starts to creep in, and you ask yourself the worst case scenario questions of, what if I am not getting paid during this time? How would my family survive if we were not getting paid? And I think that it made me feel a little bit better that I pulled out my budget, I pulled out my spreadsheet, and I started making little tiny changes so that I could put some more money aside in savings. I'm not talking about a ton of money by any means, just tiny little bits. They all add up. And so, for example, one of my financial goals this year is we had some debt that we wanted to pay off. And instead of sending extra to debt right now, I just took that money and I put it into savings. It'll be there if I want to put it towards my debt again later, but I knew that I would feel more confident and more safe if my money was just sitting in an account where I could get it. That was one small tiny change. I also tried to divert more of my grocery budget to buying things that were non-perishable. That was one other small tiny change that I could make to make me feel a little bit better about where I was going with my money. There is certainly nothing that I can do to change my entire financial life overnight, but I can make small changes, get my budget in order, get our money in order. It just, seriously, you guys, this really made me go, like, get it together, woman. Like, you don't need anything else. Like, to be very honest, a vast majority of this country has everything that they need. You do not need any more. It could be tempting to go spending in this time of uncertainty just because you're scared and you don't know what else to do. But my challenge to you, or the question I pose to you, is that maybe this would be the right time to divert some extra money into savings just so that you have it. Even $25, $50, $75 is going to make you feel better about navigating this time if you've got a little bit more cushion behind you. I will leave some links below to some of the channels that I absolutely love here on YouTube who talk about finances, frugal living, meal planning, meal prep, making a budget, all those kinds of things. I will leave resources below for a couple of money-related channels that you might want to check out during this time. Speaking of meal plans, that is tip number 4, make a meal plan. I know that a lot of you have probably been to a grocery store over the last week, and it was so surreal when I went to see like half empty shelves and people running around stocking up, and it's so easy to buy into this mentality of scarcity and that there isn't going to be enough, and I don't know what I'm going to do, and what if I don't have enough food? And I think one of the things that you could do to make yourself feel better during this time would be to make a meal plan. Just go into your pantry, see everything you have, maybe take a quick inventory of everything that's in there, and then make a list of meals that you could make with those ingredients. Writing down lists of options that you have makes you feel a little bit better, makes you feel a little bit more prepared. Like, I don't need to panic. I do not need to go to the store and buy out everything. I have a lot here. If your freezer and pantry are anything like mine, there is probably more than enough stuff in there to last us through a couple of weeks. So make yourself feel a little bit better that you aren't really facing a scarcity problem, and take stock of what you have at home and start planning out some meals. For Trevor and I, we don't usually do a big formal meal plan, as in, this is what we're having this day, this is what we're having this day. I usually write down 3 or 4 meals each week that I have the ingredients for that we can make that week. And then throughout the week, we just decide per day, what one of those meals we're going to make. So you can make it simple and easy and flexible so that it's not overwhelming. But having an idea of what you're going to cook for the week or weekend or, a couple weeks ahead is probably going to make you feel a lot better right now. If you've seen that you're going to have a little bit more time on your hands than normal, my tip number 5 is learn something new. Take some of the energy and anxiety that you're feeling about your life right now and channel it into something positive. Maybe there's something you've always wanted to learn or a book you've always wanted to read. A lot of us probably have a lot of unread books lying around the house, but even if you don't, there are tons of audiobooks out there that are available to you from home at any time for a cheap price. You can listen to books if you don't happen to have any with you right now. But chances are you probably got some books that you've always meant to read but didn't. So take this time to read a little bit more. I am currently reading, let me get it for you, Everything is Figureoutable by Marie Forleo. I would highly recommend this book if you're interested. I will link it below. So that's one of the things that I will be doing during this time. I usually read, but this is something that I'll have a little more time for right now. If reading really isn't your thing, you could take an online course through a website like Skillshare, where you have tons of people online teaching you everything that you could possibly imagine. Taking classes from home is a great way to occupy yourself when you're supposed to be social distancing. So you can watch YouTube videos, you can read online articles. There are more than enough resources available to you digitally that you could learn something new during this time. Channeling your energy into something positive, something that moves you forward in your life, will make you feel a little bit better and a little bit more in control of your life at this time of uncertainty. Tip number 6 kind of goes along with those lines. Go ahead and get some projects done at home that you were planning to do. I was on Facebook and I saw somebody post something really funny, and she said, I've worked at home for a long time, guys. I know that you think you're going to be doing all of these things, but really the only thing you're going to do is come up with a new cereal by mixing 3 other cereals that you have at home. And I thought it was hilarious because I have seen a lot of people posting like, oh, look at all the things we're going to get done. And I'm sure a little bit of that is optimistic, but at the same time, you get to choose. You get to choose what you do with your extra time. You get to decide how productive you are or aren't during this time. So if you've always wanted to clean out that closet, or you've always wanted to, get your garden in order, or if you've always wanted to finally sort through all your photo albums, this is the right time to do it. You're going to have time available to you. Why not spend time at home improving the space where you live? We will all be in our homes a lot for the rest of our lives, and even more so over the next couple of days. Take some time to actually do something that improves the experience that you have at home. It will make you feel productive and happy, and also make your home just a happier place to be right now, and I think we could all use that. Tip number 7 is totally nail the whole working from home thing. I am someone who actually works from home maybe like 1 day a week or so I'm somewhat used to this. But I will be working from home far more than I have in the past, and I'm sure that is true for a lot of us. So again, this kind of went into what I talked about a little bit before with choosing to be productive in a time like this. But especially when this comes to your work, take it seriously, you guys. Can you imagine what it must be like to be a business owner right now? Every single person who owns a business, big or small, is freaking out and trying to understand how their customers' buying habits are going to change because of everything that's happening in our world. Some are being affected very, obviously, like businesses that are being forced to close, like restaurants and bars and stuff like that. But even retail businesses, are people going to be saving more money now and not buying more things? Every business out there has customers, and their buying habits and spending habits are changing drastically right now. And so every business is wondering, can my business stay afloat? And as someone who needs a paycheck, just like a bunch of you, this is the time to show up for your employer. This is the time to show them, I am worth your investment. I am with you in this. I'm going to help you. I am going to do everything that I can to move our business forward as much as I possibly can right now. Take working from home seriously and don't just play it off as a vacation. One of my favorite YouTubers, A.B. Landino, just released a video all about this topic, and I am going to link it up here and below so that you can go watch that. She has tons of practical tips on how to work from home with integrity and productivity during this time. Next tip number 8, is something that I would probably roll my eyes at, but I'm going to tell it to you anyway. Move your body. Just because you're being told to stay at home does not mean that you're being told not to exercise. As a matter of fact, it's probably something that we should all be doing even more so we can keep our immune systems up. You can go for a walk outside. You can use YouTube videos to do workouts from home in your living room. I will link some of my favorite YouTube channels here for fitness. And I will also link the video that I shared on getting your health together in 2020. There's tons of great resources available to you there as well. Get outside, get into nature, get into fresh air. Now, that doesn't mean that you go around a bunch of people. I'm just saying you're not confined to your home as of the posting of this video, because who knows. But take a walk, sit on your deck, take the kids, biking down the street. Whatever you can do to keep your body active, your immune system up, will only make you feel better in a time like this and help you sustain your energy for the long term while you're going through this. Tip number 9 is to do what you can to protect your energy and your mental health at this time. That might mean disconnecting from social media. I know I told you earlier to check in with the people that you love, and I told you in another tip to make sure you're checking in with your coworkers. And I'm not talking about those people when I say disconnect. What I'm talking about disconnecting from here is from scrolling through 75,000 Facebook posts of some random person you met in high school or college, or your crabby Aunt Kim ranting about how terrible this is, how it sucks, sharing political posts or, any of those kinds of things. If you need to disconnect right now so that you aren't wasting your energy, like being overwhelmed and anxious by all the negativity that people are sharing, you should do it. Disconnect. Put the phone down, turn off the TV, go sit down with a journal or your planner or whatever you can to focus on you. Focus on your life. Focus on what you are working on right now. Focus on what steps you can take right now to improve your life during this time. Disconnect from negative media and negative sources if it is affecting you. Again, that doesn't mean that you're not informed. It doesn't mean that you're not working hard for your company. It doesn't mean that you're not checking in on the people that you love. It means you're distancing yourself digitally as well as, in person, socially, from people whose mindsets aren't being helpful to you right now. It is okay to disconnect right now. And last but not least, tip number 10 is to take care of yourself. Right now, more than ever, you need to be getting a good amount of sleep, drinking a lot of water, eating regularly and as healthily as you can. You have to take care of yourself before you can take care of all of these other things in your life happening right now. So prioritize getting enough sleep. Make sure you're carrying some water around with you. Make sure you're eating on a regular basis. When things are stressful, we often start to feel drained more quickly. And so providing your body with as much energy as you can possibly give it right now is especially critical. One of my recent videos is all about how to get more sleep and having a mindset of getting more sleep. And so I will link that up here and down below so that you can check that video out. I really hope that this video gave you some ideas on how you can move your life forward during this coronavirus pandemic. I hope that above all, I hope that you take away from this that you do have a choice for some of the things that you do to move forward. There's a lot happening right now that we can't control, but this video showed you that there are 10 things that you can control to the best of your ability. Things are changing so quickly, and I think one of the best tips that I'm trying to remind myself of too is we just have to take it day by day. It's too hard to look far into the future because things are changing so rapidly. Goodness knows what tomorrow is going to look like, or next week is going to look like, or next month is going to look like. Keeping your focus in on the short term and kind of doing what you can in the here and now is another great way to help you just keep going in a time like this. Make sure that you're being kind to yourself and kind to your loved ones, kind to strangers out there. our world needs it more than anything. So, know that I'm here for you. Know that I'm going to continue to share posts and information and resources and entertainment and joy during this time. I'm going to put my Instagram handle here. I'm going to be sharing posts and stories. Make sure you follow me over there so that I can stay connected to you and we can all stay connected to each other during this time. I hope you found this video super helpful. I will be back with another video here on my channel. I will keep posting content about organization and productivity and goal getting because a lot of those things are things we can still do during this time. Happy to say I will still keep sharing content. Make sure you subscribe to this channel so you do not miss any of my upcoming videos. I have a huge goal to make 1,000 subscribers here in 2020. It would help so much if you'd be one of them. Please hit the subscribe button and I will see you in my next video. Take care of yourselves and have a great rest of your day.